Death toll from those devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria has now passed 12,000 people. Crews are working around the clock in the hopes of finding survivors. The quakes hit on Monday. For more on the relief efforts, I want to bring in Senay Ataselim. She is the executive director of Turkish Philanthropy Funds. Thank you so much for being with us. Is there any sense of how many people could still be in the rubble, could still be missing?
Yeah, this is a huge humanitarian disaster. John, we know that 10,000 people have lost their lives, and the number is expected to go up over $150,000, unfortunately.
And have you been able to communicate with anybody you know who might have been in the area, or is it possible to even communicate with in the massive area of devastation?
Yeah, the impact that area is spread out to 10 states, so it's huge. But as Turkish Philanthropy Funds, we have direct communication line to relief efforts. So we receive real-time information on what's happening on the ground through our NGO partners. So I have I'm part of a lot of WhatsApp communication groups. So I'm really real-time seeing what's happening, what kind of relief efforts is being going on, and what are the efforts right now. Currently, the biggest effort is getting people from under the rubble. At least 10,000 buildings have collapsed. And that is easing out now, unfortunately, as the time passes. And now there's an urgency to create temporary shelters for people. And hotels and homes in other cities are also being deployed to provide shelter for people who have lost their homes. And the snowy weather and cold weather are unfortunately also making the rescue efforts very, very difficult.
Is there some sense of how large that need is for housing, not only those whose homes were destroyed, but those that are unsafe, that may still be standing, but are unsafe for fear of aftershocks? How much housing and shelter is needed?
We're hearing that it's going to be in millions, unfortunately.
And what is the most urgent area of need for those in the rest of the world who would want to donate or help or contribute in some way?
Currently, our funds are going to our vetted NGOs on the ground that are helping first responders meet survivors' immediate needs like food, clean water, medicine, and shelter. But our experience shows that as times go by, more need of temporary housing for people who lost their homes will be needed, but also psychosocial and mental health support for survivors will become more central in the coming days and weeks.
Turkey.
And this is going to be a long time recovery. So we see the path as a long way.
Yeah. Turkey's the world's biggest refugee host country with about 3.6 million Syrian refugees. Many of them are near where the earthquakes struck. How is their condition different? Are they receiving the same kind of assistance? How does that complicate the situation?
As you said, a lot of the refugees, especially Syrians, are settled in that part of the country. But this is a humanitarian crisis. So everyone living and residing in that part of Turkey has been impacted, and our efforts and all the efforts going on the ground there are supporting both Turkish citizens and refugees at the same time.
And quickly, if somebody wanted to donate, what's the best way that they could make sure that they were giving money that actually got to those in need?
Please go to our website. It's tpfund.org. We have an active campaign going on. This is the biggest humanitarian crisis that the Turkish Republic has ever faced, and a lot is needed to build those cities back up. So any support is appreciated. I'd like to invite all your viewers to join our efforts so we can rebuild these cities back up.
Okay. Senay Ataselim, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for giving us the platform.